Good morning, good morning. Don't sit down. Good morning. Thank you so much. When we come to this place, we celebrate. We celebrate life. We affirm ourselves and our brothers and our sisters. And we stand together. Find some sense of harmony, some sense of being with each other as we truly are. Hold hands with your brother, your sister, your neighbor, the stranger. Listen. Listen. Oh, Lord our God. Oh, God, this morning, your people come together. Diverse in class and color, ideology, age, sexual orientation. Diverse this morning. Women and children and men and gay, lesbian. Just people, God, coming together. And as we come together, let us open up our souls and our minds and our hearts. Let us open up this morning, O Lord. Hear our cry, O Lord, hear us, hear us. For we have turned our backs not only on you, but those that we don't want to be with, those that we don't care about. Sometimes we discover that we don't even care about ourselves. And so we come this morning to care about people, to love them and ourselves. And hopefully this love will move not only mountains, Lord, but barriers that are close to us, like hate and distrust, like meanness. We're so mean sometimes, Lord. And we're so destructive sometimes. Sometimes we just don't care about nothing, not even ourselves. But here we are, Lord, coming together. Hear our prayer then. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer, oh God. What more can we say then except all together? Amen. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Right on. Right on. Shalom. Shalom. Salam. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried and go free. Come on. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. And the whole, my Lord, be free. over me. Yeah. want you to turn around and embrace your brothers and sisters now. You may be seated. Thank you. Just sit right there. Be okay. Just sit there. Sit there. Ladies and gentlemen and brothers and sisters, I called early this morning and said to the maintenance people to turn the heat on at 7:30, and they said, why are you going to turn it on at 7:30? It'll be hot enough at 9:30. And it sure is hot now. Did y'all turn the heat off? Is there any heat coming through those? You're kidding me. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be any coming through. Would somebody tell him to turn the heat off? He told me he was going to turn it off at 9 o'clock. Just a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Don't. We're crowded, y'all. We are crowded. This is the month of February is the month that we observe Black History Month. African American History Month, and today we want to put special emphasis on it. And so we'll be doing some things as we move along here that will highlight the observance of Black history. Are you all ready? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. All right. The young people are going to do something that I think will be very important to all of us. Okay.
This program is dedicated to Reverend Cecil Williams, our spiritual beacon, and to mothers, fathers, and ancestors whose strength, love, and courage have brought us here. They are surely an inspiration not only to African Americans, but all young people everywhere.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty.
Amistad the Amistad, rebellion on a slave ship, 1839. It was liberation time. Amistad, oh Amistad, the slave sent Q, unchained his people in the night. Let our rejoicing rise, high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as a rolling sea.
Harriet Tubman, though I was small, my mission was tall. I had to be brave to free 300 slaves. I was strong, I never went wrong, because I just got a yearning to be free, to be free.
They celebrate Paul Robeson for his pen was great indeed. Not only his lessons singing and acting, but he also planted a seed of Black liberation.
Fannie Lou Hamer is my name, and my people's freedom is my aim. No, I never give up hope until my people have the right to vote.
Thanks in the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
My name is Rosa Parks, strong and free. When a bus driver wanted me out of my seat, I refused to get up because I got poor, tired feet. I remain strong even if you beat me. I remain strong and you'll never beat me.
Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to a place from which our mothers and fathers sighed.
John Coltrane played all that jazz, black genius of the saxophone, great black music with lots of class, messages with a musical tone.
Malcolm X was a strong black man. Malcolm X did the struggles for the land. Self-determination for black people now. Dignity, liberty was his vow.
These are a few whom we hold up with pride. We owe it to ourselves to continue to fight for freedom of all children. That is our God-given right.
Joy and Ron and Denny were the ones who brought all that together. Let's hear it for them, please. That is commonly called the Negro National Anthem. It would be African American National Anthem now. But you know, when you sing that song slowly, the music can be awful. Like the national anthem, what is that called? Star Spangled Banner. It's awful. Whoever wrote the music to that stuff, I'm telling you. So I'm glad you jazzed it up, brother. We're going to always jazz it up here. Yeah. You know, somebody said to me, are the people going to be there? You know, I'm going to tell you something. I'm surprised every Sunday I come to church. And Jan said something the other day to me that was very, I think, very critical, because I think now I'm experiencing my mortality, you know? It's a little heavy, but I'm trying to say something, you know? You never know what's going to happen. So I'm surprised. This place is always jam-packed. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we're going to talk about jazzing it up. May I present to you now the Glide Ensemble. the musicians, for the directors. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Young people are leaving now. We're going to take up the offering right now. Would you make your pledge and your tithes out at this time, please? The ushers are going to prepare to pass the bags in just a few minutes. For those of you that don't know, we serve over 1 million meals per year here, 3 meals per day. Except on Saturdays and Sundays, we do 2 meals plus a bag lunch for people to take that evening, for them to have something to eat. We've discovered that when you feed them nourished food, nourishment. So we just don't serve soup and crackers here. We serve fried chicken, black-eyed peas, cornbread, and grits. Well, it's not in that order, y'all, but anyway, whatever. Yeah. We want you to contribute to our food program. Those of you just passing through. Of course, we'd like for you to become a pledge person for our church if you would, but you're just passing through. Drop a whole lot of money. And then we have also an education program where we've sent 14 young people this past year to colleges and universities with scholarships. Ushers, you can begin now to pass the offering bags. I see you've already begun, but take your time. Wherever there is a person, stop. Because they're lined up all around. Be sure you get downstairs. I've just had a report that there are a lot of folks down there looking at the monitor. And for those of you that are looking at the monitor, I know you can see me now. They're going to come and pass the bag in front of you also. And if you want to come up here, what you got to do is come earlier next Sunday, right? Thank you so very much for being here. I would like to announce that when we're through here today, you can go downstairs to Freedom Hall, and there are CDs and tapes, number 1 and number 2, tapes and CDs with the Glide Ensemble. We're now preparing to do another tape and CD somewhere in mid-summer, and it will be available a little later on this year. But if you want to hear some of this music, you can pick it up downstairs. We have T-shirts and we have caps, and we have videos of today's celebration that you can also get in about 3 or 4 days from now. You just sign up, we'll send it to you. So there are many things downstairs, many things. On Thursday evening at 6:30 here at Glide, the People's Poetry Workshop will be held, the Poetry for the People workshop. And June Jordan and Janice Mirikatani are giving leadership to those workshops. This is the last Sunday that we're going to announce it, which means that probably after this Thursday, they will not take any new students. So this Thursday will probably be the last Thursday. Sign up, okay? Also on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, we have Bible study here. This afternoon at 3 o'clock, Larry Byes right here is receiving an award, Unsung Hero Award. For volunteers who are interested in helping us with the AIDS quilt display, There will be a meeting today on the 3rd floor in the teenager room, the teen room, at 12:30 p.m. Also, after this celebration, free blood pressure testing will be available here today. For those of you that would become members of Glide, we invite you to participate in our community here, our family. This is our family. It was like this at the 9 o'clock. Our family. It's like this every day. Our family. Those who are homeless and hungry, destitute, desolate. Those who are deprived, depressed, whatever the situation. Our family. They're our family. So when you join this community, you join in a well-diverse group of folks. A great number of diverse. You can go right through this door, and the first door you come to on your left, you can, at that particular time, see some people that will be in there waiting for you. Go in and stop telling me each Sunday, you know, I come to Glide all the time. I want you as a member of Glide, okay? And if you're not used to joining, try one time. Doesn't hurt. Won't hurt you, okay? Now I got something to say. If you looked at your Chronicle Examiner paper this morning, you will see in the book section, book review section, which is in the middle of the pink pages. They are white pages. And somebody got it there? Okay, yeah. Janice Mirikatani on the front page. Stand up. Stand up so they can see you. And she is also in the middle of that section with the Glide Ensemble. There's a picture. They have given her, you're talking about, I wish, you know, when you're in the public's eye, this is the kind of news you want to make, right? Tell you, it's something. So we honor you this morning. We're grateful to you this morning. Y'all want to come up too? Come on up here. The Williams family would like to present Jan some flowers. Dusty, Elmira, and my sister, Johnny. Reedy, come on up here. You're Williams. Yeah. All right.
We just want our sister-in-law to know we love her. And we think that she has just gotten some recognition for something we knew all along. They're just a little late.
Say something. I want you to say something.
Okay, I'm going to say something. Thank you. And I want to thank Dusty, Elmira, Reedy, Cecil, and I want to thank Johnny. And I think Johnny's giving me payback because I've been answering the phone for her, and I'm taking all these calls, these dates, these people are calling for her.
Don't do that.
She's been here for 3 weeks, and she's outnumbering our phone calls
That's
about
right.
15 to 1.
That's right.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, family. And I thank you, family. It's really something to look at a review and having been reviewed by the editor of the book section, who is Pat Holt, and for her to have really heard and to have gotten it. It's really something. Because I've gotten reviews before, and they haven't always been what I felt was complete or necessarily fair. And, you know, when you put your stuff out there, you take what comes. But a lot of times people don't take the time to really hear, to really listen, and to really get what you feel like you're putting out. And I feel like she has really heard. I talked to her about my bout against my addictions to not only substances but also to powerlessness. And, when you write, you really try to believe in the power of words, and you try to break the isolation that you feel as someone who's been incested or battered or in violent situations. You break that isolation with those words. But what I didn't know until I began to engage in recovery here with my Glide family is that really the power is in community. Really the power is in hearing others, feeling others, and letting others experience you. So I thank you. I thank my husband who has built this wonderful place where all people can feel safe and accepted. So thank you.
I have been overcome this past week with a sense of wondering how in the world could I, Cecil Williams, bring about at least some semblance of healing in the lives of people. And just so many of our people are suffering from AIDS, not only here but all over the world. But in the African American community, for instance, there are more young people and more women, but more young people throughout all communities. And so my grief gets to me at times because I don't want to see my friends and my loved ones die or even be stretched toward death. I'd like for them to be around for a while. And so for those of you that are suffering from AIDS today, those of you who may have given up, those of you who may feel isolated and uncared for, those of you who feel shame and guilt, we want to wipe it away today. We want you to know that there's one place in America, I don't know about 11 o'clock any other place, but one place in America on Sunday you are loved and accepted, and that's this place. And it hurts very deeply, very deeply. But I want you to be with me. I want you to listen to this passage first. And then I want you to stand and sing Precious Lord after I've prayed. I'll read the passage, then pray, and then stand and sing Precious Lord. Even in the midst of great pain, Lord, I praise you for that which is. I will not refuse this grief. I close myself off to anguish. Let shadow men and women pray for ease. Comfort us and shield us from sorrow. I pray for whatever you send me, Lord, and I ask to receive it as your gift. You have put a joy in my heart greater than all the world's riches. I lie down trusting the darkness, for I know that even in the darkness, you are there. O Lord our God, hear thy people now as we reach out from our souls and from our hearts to care for people, all kinds of people, O Lord. Those who are suffering severely from this disease called AIDS. Some way, somehow, O Lord, reach into their hearts as we come together this morning and help us to help them to understand that they're not alone and that we love them and need them, desire them, embrace them, and yearn for their presence. Thank you. Thank you for a church that allows us to be compassionate. Because we didn't have to be, Lord. But thank you for opening us up to your love ethic that says to love them no matter who they are, to accept them no matter who they are. And so we come for this love and acceptance this morning. For those who are suffering, bring joy in our midst and let us dance and rejoice for this moment, just this moment. Because we're blessed, we're really blessed at this moment. And therefore we reach out then and we say, precious Lord. Will you stand?
I am Lord, yes, Lord. Lead me on to the light. Take my precious Lord, and lead me on. My way, road clear.
Precious Lord, make it
Precious Lord, lead me near.
when my life is almost gone.
My life, yes, it's almost gone. Yes, it's gone. Hear my cry. Hear my hold my hand. Lest I fall. Take my hand. Precious Lord, lead me.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. I would like for those who may disagree with some of the things I say today to hold it close to your breast. Hold it close to your heart. Just hold it close. All the disagreement that you may have, keep it for a while. Work with it. I would like for you to empathize with me today. The reason I would like for you to empathize is I want to be heard, like Janice said. I want to be heard from my perspective as an African American. I want to be heard because I want you to see it through my eyes and through my feelings and through my needs and through my desires and through my pain and frustration and my joy. I want you to know that I'd like for you to put compassion with the empathy that I'm asking you for, because they work together in very critical ways by which there may come a breakthrough for all of us, or for many of us, or maybe just a few of us. Here is a passage that African Americans who came through slavery and after slavery would hold close to them. This is a passage because it speaks of our faith with God. We found a source, a resource. We found a ground that we could stand on in the most trying and awful times, and it was God. Unnameable God, I feel you. You're with me at every moment. You are my food and my drink. Now that's something, isn't it? God to be your food and your drink. You're my sunlight and the air I breathe. My food, my drink, the sunlight, the breath that I take. You are even the ground I have built on, and the beauty that rejoices in my heart. I give thanks to you at all times for the lifting of the confusion from my life. Confusion where my mother and my father and my brothers and my sisters were sold on slave blocks, and families were separated and segregated. For teaching me in the dark and showing me the path of light and life. I have come to the center of the universe at last, at last. Sometimes I think this may be the center of the universe. I rest in your perfect love. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. No matter what I'm going through, Lord, when I'm with you, there's fullness of joy. Death, devastation, beatings, lynchings, hard times, unbelievable, inhumane acts. In your presence, there's always fullness of joy. And blessedness then forever and ever. Now, you're probably going to see some water coming down here in a minute. I just wasted a cup of water. And if it comes in the right place, I'll walk on it. See how quick you have to be, man? This is a place you have to move with that stuff. You can't be laboring on words. Yeah. We have attempted to carve out in the African American community some sense of how God and humanity act in our lives. And why so many of us became a part of the Christian church. And how in many ways we were maneuvered to believe that if we were just good Christians and good laborers or slaves, if we were just good, that we'd finally get to heaven, and especially if we were good slaves. Be a good slave and you can get to heaven. That's the reason you don't hear me talk about no heaven. I ain't going to nobody's heaven right now. I want to deal with what's on the earth. I want to make sure that we live in a new way here on earth. And I don't know where I'm going anywhere, and you don't either. Just when you die, just go. Wherever you go, go. Don't be staying around. Just go on. And what we've done is Cornel West, for instance, has carved out for us something here that is very important. It talks about Martin Luther King, and he says to us, be sure that you go to the roots of your existence, which I often say. Be sure that you use the roots of your existence. And be sure that you understand what King and Malcolm, Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth, and be sure you understand what Fannie Lou Hamer and Rosa Parks, what all of the folks who were in the forefront, all who led us out of slavery, be sure that you taste of their roots and understand why they did what they did. He says of Martin King that there is a tradition, and he calls it the exceptionalist tradition. And in the exceptionalist tradition, blacks are placed in a divine plan to save themselves and to save their oppressors. There's a divine plan, he says, that works where God is acting in history with people like King. And I hope like me one of these days. But anyway, a divine plan that will help us save ourselves and will help us save anybody who feels like that we are still second-class citizens. Get to the oppressor. Also, divine plan, an exceptionalist tradition. One. He says there's another tradition, and I feel very strongly about the exceptionalist tradition, because I'm going to tell you the truth, that's what we've tried to create here. Different, a difference. What makes a difference? You make a difference. You can make a difference. So many churches would not be able to have that minister stand up and pray, even pray for people with AIDS. Because it would not be, you see, it would be an evil thought. And the fact that they don't do anything about it is an evil act on my part. The second tradition he calls the assimilationist tradition. To be you assimilate with folks. In other words, you all kind of melt together. That's right. And what happens is, if you melt together, of course, those who are looked upon as inferior don't get no place in the melting pot. You know, those who have the great power are those who then determine how the melting goes, what color it turns out to be. And you can rest assured it's not black, okay? So in that tradition, I used to think that that's what would happen, because I read a long time ago in somebody's book, some sociologist's book, that said assimilation and miscegenation would be those things. Miscegenation meaning that we will interact and interweave so much until we'll all come out looking alike. That's a whole lot of stuff. I don't want to look like you, and you sure don't want to look like me, okay? So we don't need no miscegenation, no assimilation, okay? Inferior, those who are inferior always lose on that. The third tradition he talks about is the marginalist tradition. And that is the people who are on the margin of society, the people who are on the outside, those who will revolt, and those who engage in creativity, and those who try to find ways to put things together rather than come into the center where the majority of the folks are. The revolters are those who are out on the fringe, like a lot of you are. You out on the fringe. Some of you chose to stay out there because you don't want to be overcome by nobody. Folks holding up their hand. Yeah, I know you're here. It promotes a self-image of not only creativity and revolt, says Cornel West, but of confinement. You have to be careful about being confined to the margin, because poor folks don't want to be poor all their lives. So you have to look at that in both directions. Yeah, I'm ready. I'll take on the world, and I'm going to stay out here to do it. But what about all them other folks who need food and clothing and housing? Let's don't keep them out there. Let's find a new place for them. Talk about that in a few minutes. And then finally, he says there's the humanist tradition, in which black culture is not romanticized, but rather seen as the expression of an oppressed human community, imposing its distinctiveness from a form of order to what he calls the existential chaos. Ooh, some good stuff, y'all. I think I fall somewhere between the third and the fourth. The marginalist and the humanist. And then I go back up to the first one, of course, the exceptionalist. I would say to you that the fourth one that we talked about, the humanist, simply says that we don't have to usurp each other's culture. We don't have to mimic each other. We have images of ourselves, and the realities of those images must come forth. And therefore, it empowers us to be human if we can accept ourselves as Asian or Hispanic or gay or lesbian. I see so many folks who find it difficult to say, this is who I am, or black, or white, or woman, or man, or children. We don't help people define themselves. I was at San Jose State this past week. I see Brother Harold here, yeah. And he brought me down to San Jose State, and I talked about what it really means to have self-definition. I've talked about it here before, but I think I expounded a little more on it there, because I see so many folks who are lost because they have no self. And I want young people to know that you get power when you define yourself. You get power when you say, this is who I am. Now, having said all that, here's what I want to tell you about today. I want to use one of Martin King's, the exceptionalist tradition, divine plan, quotes by Martin Luther King. He says, and I quote, "We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. isn't that so sweet? Tied in a single garment of destiny. That's good stuff. I mean, it sounds good. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. So you can't escape. If there are those people who are closed-minded, closed hearts, who are hard-headed, who are selective only for their kind or their whatever they want, need, and get, and cut out everybody else, like maybe some politicians, you know. I hope that American voters will vote down any politician who wants to exclude other people because of what they are and who they are. A network of mutuality, says King. And then he says, we have inherited a large house, a great world house, in which all people, Gentile and Jew and white and black and yellow and brown and red, gay, lesbian and bisexual, a family tree, a family home, Protestant, Muslim, Catholic, Hindu, all cultures coming together at this home. He says, because we cannot afford to live apart any longer. What I would like to say to you today is that as I look upon the present and the future, because I hope to be here when the new century comes, and I want to set some direction right now, because I want us to know that we've got something that we've got to work for, that we've got to give our lives to, that we've got to give the juices of the experiences that we have, that we've got to make some commitments in acting how we can make this world not only a better world, but how we can break all of the barriers, how we can move mountains. I want to move some mountains before the 21st century it comes. So therefore, I only say to you that picking up on King's world house, what I would like for Glide to become, which we may be doing at this time very, very carefully and not even know it, and not so carefully at times. I want Glide to become a spiritual oasis where people, where pilgrims who come this way can stop by this oasis when they're thirsty for spirituality. I want this place. I want this place to be a place where those who are destitute and denounced and subjugated and oppressed, and those who are hurting in their hearts and in their souls, those whose bodies are weakening because they don't have the right medication or no medication, those who are alcoholics and drug addicts, those women who have been battered, and those men and children who have been abused, and all God's children, no matter where they come from, Ghana, or they come from Nigeria, or whether they come from England, or whether they come from Germany or France or Japan or Mexico, no matter whether they come from Ireland. Somebody told me be sure to include Ireland. No matter where they come from, but they come from all over the world, from Malaysia and from Taiwan and from China, no matter where pilgrims come through this city, we want to make this an oasis where they can stop and get the thirst of their bodies and their minds and their souls quenched by drinking this spiritual nourishment that we have here. I'm not concerned about the fact that they're Buddhist or Hindu or Shinto. I'm not concerned about whether they are non-Christians or Christians or Jews. I'm not concerned about what their ideology may be or what their theology may be or what their lifestyle may be or what their orientation may be. I'm not concerned about what they wear and what they look like. This shall be the house that brings forth spiritual salvation that will embrace everybody no matter when they come or how they come. We have people coming here every week practically wanting to know what we're doing at Glide. Ministers, clergy persons, lay people, trying to find out what many of them, a mistake that they make is they think they can get it in an hour. That's right. Can we come by on Thursday and be with you for an hour? No. If you're going to drink of this spiritual ground of substance that we have, you got to meet the people, all kinds of people. You got to be with the folks so you can empathize with them and have compassion with them and for them. No. Group after group. Can we come by and just see what y'all are doing for an hour? You won't get it. I don't know how the Spirit moves in an hour anyway. I'm not sure we got the Spirit, but we sure trying to get it. For a long time, we noticed that there's a difference in this church. Used to not be like this. Changed now. Somebody said to me, "Oh, Cecil Williams, you preaching different. What do you expect? Speaking to preaching different." Yeah, I'm preaching in a different way. Don't expect me to be preaching like I was preaching 10 years or 12 years or 20 years ago. Something's happened to me. Don't you know that? Politicians coming, parliamentarians coming, all kinds of folks from different countries coming by here. We always try to start them out here on Sunday. So we know if we start them out here on Sunday, they will experience something that they have never experienced before in their life because of you. I mean, you're the most, I don't know what to call you. You're really something else. You know, you're the people that, I know what. You have been called. You have been chosen, whether you know it or not. You were chosen. When you came through that door and you sat down and you didn't leave, when you stayed here on a Sunday morning, I want you to know that you had been chosen then. So you can't, I don't care where you come from, how much you don't like what we're doing, and where you're going to go. You have been chosen. You know that? And you can try to get away from it, but there's no place to hide. We'll tell you that right now. I want to tell you this story, then I'm going to stop. One reason I've changed is because I remember my brothers and I went to college together, and we sang. And we sang our way through college. I had also taken voice lessons for a number of years. And so we were singers. When I got to seminary, I was afraid. I was really scared, y'all, you know. One of the few times I've been that afraid, going to white university and don't know nobody and walk on that campus. And I'm ready, y'all, because I can run a mile like nobody, you know. I'm being honest. I'm ready. I grew up running a mile. I ran the 880. I'm sorry. I ran the 880. We used to win all time, no matter where we go. We'd win them races, y'all. That's just a fact. Black folks can move, y'all. I ain't lying. Tell you, we can move. That's right. Am I right about that? Yeah. Yeah. We know when to let the heat come up and move. Tell you. Something. But we sang. And when I got to graduate school, the same thing. I sang a lot. And led singing a lot. And finally, I didn't want to sing no more. Because my white brothers and my white sisters said to me, come up on Race Relations Day. Come to our church on race. You know, they always want to be on Race Relations Day. And sing. Well, heck, I'm preaching by then. Can I preach sometime? Oh, Cecil, your voice is so good. Come on and sing for us. I could see right now that there was a ploy, you know, get me to sing and then I don't have to say what I need to say. Okay? So I told them after 2 years, they kept saying, Cecil, will you come to Race Relations? No, no. Will you sing? No, I ain't singing for you. I don't sing no more. I was like Maya Angelou. I became a mute when it came to singing. You know, that's all they want to hear, my singing. I could preach. They want to hear me sing. Now I want you to know that this is why it's important that this glide ensemble has a message in its song. And the spirit that goes with that message, you see. We rejoice that they do have. A lot of folks think that if they call the glide ensemble, they can do what they do here out there. It's not easy. Am I right about that? Because them folks out there sometimes, you know, they're cold. That's right. They're cold. When you do it here, it's hot from the beginning. And they think that, oh, we can just get them over there and they'll heat up. It's not easy. Well, anyway, so I told them, no, I ain't going to sing no more. So I went to my church, that desolate community that they sent me to do me in. They said, Cecil Williams, we're going to get you. You're one of the first blacks that graduated from SMU, and we're going to get you. That's what some of the African-American ministers said. And by the way, when I was in Dallas, one of the African-American ministers stood up and said, yeah, man, we talked about you. We really talked about you. Because we thought that you were crazy, first of all. I was. But I was a whole lot more than that. See, they didn't want me around. Because that was a destiny. I think God had said, I'm going to use you, Cecil Williams, one of these days in San Francisco. So I had to stop my singing now, just so I could get my preaching in. It's a shame, isn't it? Here I've got the talent. I mean, I used to have the talent to sing, and I had to stop it. Because back then, everybody, sing. Well, I'm singing now. I'm singing my song like Janice Miracatani talks about. My song is as an orator, as a listener. My song is with harmony with others. My song is my song about my life. It's about who I am and where I'm trying to go. It's about you and us coming together in a world house or in a place, an oasis, if you please. That's what it's about. It's about coming to the oasis where people can feast and where they can quench their thirst. And so, my brothers and my sisters, I read to you this passage. This is my commandment. Says Jesus, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man, woman, or child than one to lay down his or their lives for me. No longer do I call you servant. No longer do I call you slave. No longer do I call you some inhumane name. I have called you friend, and I've heard from you, and you will bear fruit. Therefore, I command you to love one another. My final words are just these. What I wanted you to really understand is that in my community, where I come from, it is filled with a seasoning of many herbs. And those herbs are those things which nourish me. One of the herbs that I have that I feel so good about, and I think most African Americans feel good about this, and that is to be an orator, to speak well, to speak like we speak. See, and if you don't understand the oratory of an African American minister, you're missing something. Of course, you had me for 33 years, you should know something by now, okay? What I'm really saying is this, is that in language and words, not just in music, but in language and words that come from music, is tied up the desperation and the desolation and the deprivation of people who have gone through the fire and the water, being brought to America on a boat. Stench and mess and all kinds of inhumane ingredients imposing upon that boat, that day, that month, that year. But when they opened the doors of that old boat, that old ship, they didn't know it. They thought we were an agriculture people. But what they've discovered is that we are a human being, a people. And we are going to make it somehow. Somehow, I know it. We're going to make it somehow. We're going to make it. Watch out. We're on the exodus. You have been called to make it happen. Amen. Just a minute. Where's the lady? Eleanor Harvey, would you come up here real quick? Where are you, Eleanor Harvey? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to receive an award here from the Civic Committee. Come on up here, Eleanor. Come in. I'm taking all awards. I don't care what anybody want to give me. I'm taking it.
On behalf of the Martin Luther King Civic Committee, we are presenting to our man of the decade, Reverend Cecil Williams, this beautiful acrylic symbol of love. And it has